Hey everybody, welcome back to Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. Really appreciate you joining us this Sunday afternoon. And I'm super excited to bring these wonderful animal psychics, animal communicators back on my channel to be with you today. So again, we have this wonderful group, the Animal Communication Collective, with us today. Now, of course, we are going to offer readings for your pets. These pets could be here with you today, or they could be crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. That is completely up to you which pet you want to read. But before we get to that, this is super important. Before we get to that, I want to talk to them and tell you and ask them to tell you what it is they do, because they have a really unique group that they formed. They actually do not for, or I wouldn't say not for profit. It is not for profit. They take all the money that they make for their donations and their events that they do goes towards rescues and animal shelters. So I'm going to let Karen talk about that. This is Karen, and wave your hand, Karen. There's a lot of people on the screen. Wave your hand. Karen was with us last time, and she's going to tell us about the group and what they do.
Hey, everybody. It's so good to be here again. We had such a great time last time. For all of you who've heard about this, bear with us as we repeat this story. And for all of you newbies, welcome, welcome. I am one of the founders and director of the Animal Communication Collective. We are a group of amazing friends and women and animal communicators that have come together. We are professionally certified communicators who have founded a volunteer organization to help animals. How do we do this? We do this by coming together to run fundraising events for animal welfare organizations, rescues, shelters, sanctuaries all around the world. As we come together and do this, we run these really fun 90-minute events where all the proceeds go straight to the animal welfare organization partner that we're working with at the time. And we have a lot of fun educating people on what is animal communication. We have about 20 members in our group, and you'll be able to check us out at our website, animalcommunicationcollective.com.
Super awesome. Thank you. All right. So let's see. What are we going to talk about next? Do you guys have an event coming up that you want to talk about?
We do. So I'll fill you in on that. And then Meredith's going to talk about what happens at an actual fundraising event. So anyone who's on right now that is an actual animal welfare organization, Meredith will give you a little more information on that as well tonight. But the really fun events that we have coming up, we have a ton of them, but I'm just going to go over the ones closest to us tonight. The first one coming up, and you can check all of this out as well on our website, so you don't have to remember this, but the first one is for an organization called Cain's Crusade. They help keep family members and their animals together. We're doing a VIP special event for them November 7th. That's coming up. The next one after that is on November 14th for a group called Live Like Rue, who helps people with their animals who actually have cancer. So that's an incredible group who's helping people with their animals, help them getting through that with their sweet babies who have cancer. In December, we're doing a collab. I love that word, collab, with the New Hampshire Dog Walking Club. And together we're going to be doing a fundraising event December 2nd to help 3 small rescue organizations that are in New Hampshire. And that will be coming up on our website. Cain's Crusade's coming back in January. We're going to be doing a really big event for them, close to 100 people. And then in February, we're doing an event for 16 Hands of Love and a horse sanctuary. So the other thing that we just wanted to let people know is you can check all this out on our website. And Meredith, why don't you share a little bit about what the fundraising events actually look like?
Sure, I'll be happy to. So people might ask, how do you set up a fundraising event like this, and what happens when you do one? So what we do as an organization is collaborate with shelters and rescues, animal welfare organizations, and we work directly with a member of that organization to set up a fundraising event. We do this all through Zoom. We're scattered all over the country, all over the world, this group of volunteers. we set up a 90-minute Zoom event for the shelter or rescue. We get on there and kind of do this. We set up an opportunity to do online animal communication readings for supporters of any particular rescue. People buy tickets to the events. We do the readings, and all of the pros.
She froze.
And in addition to that, any of us who are participating, but everybody's laughing. Any of us who are participating in the event offer an opportunity to anyone who's attending the event to book an individual reading with us, and then we donate a portion of those proceeds back to the shelter or rescue. So money goes back to the shelter or rescue that we're working with. It's a really great way to support these organizations and teach them about animal communication as well.
I'd love to just also add that tonight, I mean, like last time, everybody was so incredibly generous and ended up donating a little money. And you don't have to, but if you're up for it, any proceeds that come in tonight, we're going to be 100% donating to Cain's Crusade.
And I would like to add that that was a surprise last time. Of course, people in these lives can donate via super chat or whatever, but the donated money actually went to 16 Hands of Love here near me. And when I went to, this was really a great story. I wish Donna was at the video. Donna is in chat. You'll see her, Donna Norris. She's also an animal communicator. We went to deliver the check, which happened to be $500. $500. And when I went to deliver the check, I met, 3 horses that they have rescued, a bunch of goats, just a whole menagerie of animals that they've rescued. And one of the horses came up to me, and I knew that it had this, I just went like this, like, ow, like in my jaw. And I talked to the owner, I do forget her name at the moment, but she came over and she said, yes, we just discovered that she has a toothache. That money went directly to that horse having her tooth attended to. So, and she's wonderful. This woman is wonderful. She does meditations at her place, and you can come and meditate, lay on the table with the horses and the goats and everybody. But she's very intuitive, so she knew that as well. So the money goes directly to help animals. And today, if we get any super chats, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody that has given donations. It's going to Cain's Crusades. Now, I'm just going to take a minute. I'm gonna whatever that word is. I'm gonna take over this chat for a minute. Some of you guys know to watch my channel. You might have heard when I was on Jen's World, Jen on Thursday night. You might have heard that I have brought my old rescue dog, my foster Hunter, had to come back with me. His foster dad had a stroke, and Hunter was really at risk. He really was at risk. He was at a shelter. Everybody did everything they could to make sure that he could find a home, but he has some issues with dog aggression and things, and he ended up at a shelter. And I was able to go get him out of the shelter. He's with me now.
Oh, good.
And that's because of Cain's Crusades, because Cain's Crusade is actually going to help us get Hunter, who's adorable. He's an adorable, adorable boy. Get him up north. So please help this rescue. They're really helping me out all the way down here in Texas. These rescues are lifelines. They're lifelines to dogs and cats. Without them, there's no hope. It's just we have too many down here in the South. We have too many unwanted strays and pets. So please, if you can, check out their website. Go to these events. You're going to be able to potentially get readings and things. And all that money that you spend there goes to these rescues. So it's just a great win-win situation. I personally haven't been affected by this, so I really do appreciate it tremendously. Sorry to jump in on that.
That was a good reason.
All right. So are we, we have one more thing to talk about, don't we, Kathy, or no?
Let's see. We were going to Heather. I think Is there anything else you'd like to add so that we hear from Heather too? Heather Anderson. Anything else you want to add about the events? Heather's run some really awesome events. She ran one for Deity Dogs out in Beverly Hills, which was a super fun event. So Heather's very fun.
Well, I just wanted to mention that, yes, if you know of any 501c3s that might be interested in having us, well, or having you host a fundraiser, if you get in touch with our website, and then basically we set you up with a team member that's going to help you through all of the decision making. And these ladies, Karen and Meredith, have really come up with a very professional system for everything. So we'll walk you right through the process. It's not that difficult, but we make sure that we set it up so that it's something that you want to do and that will work for your audience and your people and your animals. So just come check us out.
That's it. Okay. And then, the last thing I want to say is, if by chance you would like a private reading from one of us after seeing us in action tonight, if you email one of us to try to book a reading, please remember to use our promo code Susan10, and we will give you a $10 discount on any type of reading that you choose to book with any of us tonight through November 30th. So Susan10 is the promo code. And don't forget to remind us and tell us that you saw us here, and we will give you that gift discount.
Fantastic. I think that's wonderful. And everybody, the names of these wonderful pet communicators are in the description of this video. So after this video, or even during the video, you can click the description and you can see their names, and you can see their links to the website for the ACC website, the Animal Communicator Collective. So, and you can book through there. So absolutely, please. These readings today are going to be mini readings, right? We don't have a lot of time. We have enough time to give you really good, solid information, wonderful reading, but it's not an in-depth reading. So if you want that, please consider booking them directly and using the promo code. You can save $10. And thank you. Somebody just did a super chat, and I'm not going to be able to find it, but I think it was Janet, wasn't it? Let's see. Thank you, guys. Oh, and Gloria, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the super chats. So the donations that you guys give me, I'm going to be giving to Cane's Crusades, which is an animal rescue organization. They're particularly helping me out down here in Texas. But where are they located? Are they up in the Northeast, or?
Yes, they are actually in Western Massachusetts, in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Right. So guess what, guys? We are sending a Houston pup to Massachusetts, and guess what I was doing today? On Amazon looking for sweaters. That boy is not going to be knowing what to do, but I'm going to send him with a sweater and maybe earmuffs, a little hat, a little muffler. I think he needs a muffler.
Yes, he does. Go Red Sox. He needs a little Red Sox bandana. He's going to Massachusetts.
This is Astros land down here, girlfriend. But okay, I'm good with it. Whatever that will let him just blend into the sports theme, I will do it. Okay, are we ready? Let me just see. I have a little question here that I might need to answer in the chat. Fantastic. Yes. Your moderators take care of the thank yous. Okay, thank you, Pamela. I appreciate it. I want to listen. First of all, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see so many familiar names, but I see some new names. So I really appreciate you guys joining me. Oh, boy. Okay. Are we ready for some questions?
We are ready. Can people see our names when they are watching us live?
That's a real good question. Let me just check. We can ask the moderators too, but I'm going to open. No, I'm not seeing your names when we are live. Okay. I'm not seeing that. Okay. That is a bummer.
So the first time around, we'll introduce ourselves. So I'm Karen Dendy Smith. Hi, everybody. And I'm in Boston, by the way.
Okay. Okay. So how about this? Can we get in the habit of when you guys go to answer the question, say who you are? I'm Karen, and this is what I'm going to say, right? Okay. Is that all right?
That sounds good.
Okay. Now, I want to say one more thing, guys. Again, for you people that are pretty, you guys come to these chats often and you know the deal. if you posted a question, say 10 minutes ago, I'm not going to see that question because the chat only shows me the most relevant, most recent questions. So please repost your question now. If you posted a question earlier, repost it. Another thing I'm going to say is I'm going to try to answer, or I'm going to try to show them as many of the questions as I can. If we miss your question, please accept our apologies. We're doing the best we can. We probably won't be able to get to all the questions today, but we're going to get to as many of them as we can, okay? Now, I have a personal thing. This is somebody that we all know here, Thayer. I'm going to pop her up on the screen. Now, can you guys see her question on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Thayer's dog, Chance, took off last night. She's been looking for him all night. All of us psychics, we all know Thayer. We all love Thayer, and we would like to just try to help her as much as we can. Are you guys getting anything about Chance?
Okay, let's just take a minute to check in on Chance. Sweetie Chance, we're calling you in. Ask where you are. So just really quickly, I'm getting that he took a little stroll down a road somewhere and got turned around. So I personally, my sense of him is he doesn't feel that far from home, but I also feel like whatever caused him to take that stroll down the road was a little bit of a surprise to him. So it's not like, to me, doesn't feel like he has his sense of smell to get him back home just yet. He's trying to figure it out. Heather, what are you picking up about Chance? And did you see anything around him?
I got a feeling. My feeling was just like my mouth is watering with nervousness. My stomach is like huge butterflies, and I feel like he's kind of not stuck in the true sense of being stuck, but he doesn't feel like he knows where to move. That he's kind of it doesn't even feel like hunkered down. It feels like he's just kind of in a place where he's doing a very consistent checking of his surroundings, because he seems frightened. He's nervous and frightened.
So I get an immediate image of a beam of light. It's a flashlight. It's a headlight. It's a beacon at the airport. There's a pretty significant beam of light. It feels like he wandered out and was going to take a stroll around the block, and then felt somehow centered in this beam of light and moved out of it to disguise himself a little bit more, as if he doesn't know exactly why he's out there and exactly what he was doing. But something about this beam of light sort of startled him, and he felt a bit targeted is the word I'm hearing. But he felt like he needed to step back into the shadows for a second to recollect his energy. Julie?
And I'm asking him if he can hear anything, just to kind of add to the senses that everyone else has talked about. And I get that he has heard his name, but there is something about it's confusing him, because he keeps putting his head up like this to catch a sniff, as Karen or Heather said, but then also he hears something, but it must ricochet off of something, and so he can't quite get his bearings. I too feel that he's not too far away. He's just confused and scared. As I get that as well.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, please.
If I go off, I'm getting the feeling like he's backed up to. I'm gonna call it a barn, like a building that seems like shed-like, tall. I'm getting like tall grasses, weeds. A train somewhere in the vicinity. I was like feeling it and hearing it, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with when you hear like a train, the train trestle. I don't know if that's even the right word. When they switch over the tracks and there's like this squeak that happens. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Is like too bizarre? But and like that's what he's hearing. Like he's feeling it, but he's also hearing that. So it's not like a train's coming straight by him, but that it's close enough. But but he's also missing the calls out for him, because I keep getting him like in a, where I'm saying he's backed up, but it's like a 90-degree angle. So everything is behind him. The people that are yelling for him are like behind him.
Yep.
Is that making sense? It feels like I can see it, but it's hard to kind of throw it out there. He's not getting a clear sense of the words being yelled because he's on the other side of the structure.
I felt the same way, Heather. And it's interesting because to me, it came across almost, I don't know if this is true, but from his point of view, it felt like it's loud and behind him, almost like a stadium. So, when you hear the muffled sounds of a stadium and you can't really sense who's yelling more than someone else or where it's totally coming from, it feels like it's behind me. Like I can hear it behind me in that kind of noisy something where he's trying to discern, like, what am I hearing versus what's just noise? They're getting convoluted between each other. But
let me ask you guys a question really quickly. Let's just see if we can do this.
Okay.
Thayer, we're doing the best we can. We're just going to do this and then kind of move on. But sometimes I'm able to like position myself. Like, let's say if you positioned yourself in the back of her house and you're facing out the back of her house, which direction do you think he went? Do you think he went to the right? Or do you think he's now? Forget went. Where is he now? Do you feel like he's straight ahead to the right or to the left? Or do you don't know?
The sense that I got was just to the left. Like, I mean, if 12 o'clock was straight ahead, between 10 and 11, is that a good
that general
reference?
Direction, right? So
Yeah.
he goes this way. What does everybody else think? I mean, and disagree, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Yes.
Please.
no, I felt slightly left of center.
I
What did you
got
get, Mary?
Yeah, I got 9:45 and 10:15. If you're looking at a clock.
You're just glad I did it that way, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. And I'm within what everybody else is saying too. I feel being drawn this
Fantastic.
way. I'm pointing
Okay.
to
Okay.
Okay.
Now, when I talked to Thayer this morning, because this is like a 911 when you call every psychic friend you have, right? I feel like Chance is coming back. I got all the same things that you got, everything. So I didn't get as much detail, but I got the gist of what you guys got. So I think we're all in accordance, right? We're all validating the information. So Thayer, Chance, we're gonna send a little prayer out. We're gonna send energy out, and we're going to picture you guys together again. We're gonna picture you hugging him and him being happy to be home and curling up, sleep in your bed, or probably in your bed tonight.
And leave out something really smelly of yours, like really dirty laundry. If you've gone and worked out or done something, leave it out in the back the way that he left. Like, leave something out close to the house. Leave some smelly stuff out for him so he can sniff the air and find the layer that is you.
And ours always says, turn on your dryer. Put your dirty laundry in the dryer and turn on the dryer because it goes out into the world as well.
That is a great idea. So you know how when I don't know if this happens to everybody, but sometimes when you run the dryer, you can smell the clean laundry.
Yep.
Well, the point is, put your dirty laundry in the dryer and let the dryer just shoot it out into the neighborhood. Your neighbors will love you, but Chance will come back.
Yes.
Okay. Thayer, much love to you, dear. We're going to move on, hopefully, because I had some comments here and I just think they've all disappeared. Put your comments back in, please, if you have put them in earlier, because I was going to pick something and it's gone. So Karen is another wonderful, wonderful supporter of the channel. Karen says she adopted 2 Houston dogs in Maine, and they love the snow and hate the heat. Oh, Matt, that's not a question. I'm sorry, Karen. But you know what? You got on the big screen, girlfriend. Good luck. It's not a kissing cam. Okay. Here's a question from Lisa, another supporter. Question: my cat, Jusuf, reincarnated from Tallulah or Amber or both? So, can you guys see that question? Is her cat reincarnated? Is that information we know? Is her cat reincarnated from Tallulah or Amber or both? She seems to think it's for sure.
Okay, we're asking Yusuf to connect with us and tell us what he wants you to know, Lisa, about your question about reincarnation. Why do you feel that why do you feel that he is reincarnated?
Perfect.
He said, I just heard him say, well, I'm management.
He said he's management.
Yeah, he said I'm management of them.
So funny. Oh man. All right.
That's literally what I heard. He's like, and he's kind of, I feel like he's kind of laughing a little bit because he says that he's managing them the way that he wants them to connect with Lisa so that she knows he's management and managing and is around.
Okay.
Sure, what everyone else is getting.
Well, I just got a real cheeky, like, the cheekiness, like, why does this need to be the case, kind of? Because he's saying that his energy is still around anyway. Why does it need to go somewhere else? I'm not getting from him that he is the reincarnation or he has reincarnated into either of those.
But that he's directing them like a movie director, for sure.
Present, very
he's
much.
Definitely there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Not a direct reincarnation by any means, but he is aware of both, what are the names, Tallulah and Amber. And he's like, I don't need to be reincarnated from them. I know who they are. I got this. He's kind of a little bit bossy and a little bit cheeky, and his energy is there and it's present, and there's almost a sense of, why do you think I have to be reincarnated? I mean, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this thing for you. I know who they are, and I'll call them in when I need to. This minute, no. It's not a reincarnation. It is management's a funny word. It's a funny word. It's like he's got all of this under control and doesn't need to pretend like he is someone other than he is. He is just himself, and I'm hearing the words, you're just going to have to deal with it.
Okay, what else you got?
So, and I got that Tallulah and Amber actually passed the baton on to Yusuf. And so this management thing, absolutely. But they had certain things they were working on with Lisa. And so Yusuf is taking it to the next, I hear the phrase, the next level. And I hear him say, buckle up, Buttercup, because we've got things to do. So, yeah, this cheekiness is absolutely coming through.
Lisa says yes with an exclamation point. Good luck, Lisa. From here on out, when I see you in chat, I'm going to say, buckle up, Buttercup. Okay. Good readings, you guys. Good readings. We're going to move on. KD wants to know, are my Cavapoo and Multipoo bonded dogs? I don't know if that means, do they like each other?
And we don't have names. Okay. Please, everyone, if you have a question for us, please put the name of the animal, the gender and the species, alive or in spirit, with your questions, so that we can really hone in more quickly. Okay, it makes it a lot easier for us. But
I can
we'll
skip
try.
this question and come back to it.
Yeah, KD,
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind readjusting that and sending it back out to us, that would be awesome.
There she goes. Yep, I see it.
Okay.
KD, Kinsey, and Theo.
Oh, awesome.
I love those names, Kinsey and Theo.
Thank you, Kenzie and Theo. Okay. Anybody, whoever gets something first, please jump in.
And if you guys want to switch to like two
Yep.
people read and then the next two people read, just so we can get through more questions.
Yeah,
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, Kinsey and Theo. Which two of you guys want to read Kinsey and Theo?
So Kenzie and Theo just popped in, and like the dynamic duo, and they're kind of doing this little thing.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that answers the question about them being bonded, but they certainly are. Like, they're in right now. I see them in top hats and canes, and they're kind of
They're vaudeville.
and yeah. So yeah,
That's
what I
That's
see.
funny, Julie. I'll jump in there with you because I agree. I got sort of a vaudeville thing too, like, hello, my honey, hello, my baby, you know? So they've definitely got an act that they're doing together, but there's something about Kenzie that's showing me a steak, like a big, fat, juicy steak. And so I'm asking what that means. Is that something you would like to have? Is that something you see yourself as? Is that, I have no idea what that means, but there's a huge steak. and they're like sitting there with napkins tied around their necks and heavy silver utensils as they're eating into this steak together. I have no idea what that means, but there's definitely an act that they're doing together that is well choreographed.
She says they can't live without each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's adorable. Okay. Katie, if you want to tell us what the steak is about, I'll try to watch the chat. It could be that they were eating steak. You know what I mean? That recently, mom was eating a steak and they wanted it. I don't know. All right. Next question is going to be Marg, another great supporter. Thank you so much for joining us today, dear. She says, I'd like to ask my Chihuahua Cindy in spirit if all my dogs that have passed are with my mom, and do they have a message for me? So apparently Cindy's leading all the dogs in spirit, apparently.
okay. So I feel Cindy right away, and I feel like Cindy has this really incredible heart. Like she's this really loving being in spirit, very tender, loving heart in spirit. She says she wants Marg L. Okay, Marg, she wants you to know she is still watching over you and that she loves you. She also is saying, I'm really sorry I had to go when I went. So I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if she had to go too quickly, but she's saying, I'm really sorry I had to go. And she says your mom has her on her lap and she's bouncing her. Like she's like, sometimes she bounces me too much though. She's like showing me her bouncing her on her lap going dum, 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 dum. And she's like, sometimes she bounces me too much. But she knows that in spirit, it's kind of like an energy if they get a kick out of each other. So there's a little funny stuff going on between them. So she just wants you to know she's having fun with your mom and that she's sorry she had to go, but she's there.
I was seeing this whole, what looked to me like a teacher. I see the human, I see all the dog children like in a classroom. So I don't know, was she a teacher? But it just feels like there's this, that there's still this learning going on. But everybody is together and they're very much lined up. I get the impression that you've had a lot of dogs, and I don't know how many you've had, but it just feels like a classroom full. And that it feels to me very calming, knowing that everybody is, they're in class together with each other. It's just a very sweet, it's very simple. It's not a deep, detailed message, just that you can be sure that what I just heard, nothing is being taken for granted, is what I just heard.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So the next question is going to be Shanita, I believe, here. And her question is, Ginger, who's alive. You get props for all the right way to put the question together. Thank you for that. 13 years old, terrier mix rescue. And is she depressed or needs something that we don't understand? Ginger.
I immediately hear that Ginger needs to run. Ginger needs to run. She needs more stimulation, more exercise, more. As a terrier, her job is to dig things out of the ground, and that she doesn't have enough opportunity to do that. She's expected to be a dog without being a terrier. There's something, yes, there is something that she needs that she's not getting. It's not anything that you're doing wrong. It's just a misunderstanding of what the needs of this particular breed are. So I'm going to ask her a little bit more information about that. Julie, are you?
And I get two things. Actually, I started to salivate a lot, which then when Meredith said about being a terrier and needing to dig, and I was just talking about this earlier today about terriers and chasing rodents and whatnot. And so when I asked her about that, it's more of that type of a thing. And at the same time, I had the salivation. I also got a really strong sense of being bored. Just like, ugh, like it's another day and I don't have anything to do, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
She wants to be challenged.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
An old dog can learn new tricks.
And Shanita is saying she recently hurt her knee. Is there anything? So maybe she wants to run, and that's what you guys are picking up on, right? This desire that I need to be more active, but apparently she has a bobo on her knee, or her sore knee.
Ginger says to me, like, so, like, doesn't slow me down. Maybe
that's
you
not the
can
problem.
me
In
too.
other words,
It's fine.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. But Ginger might be what my vet calls a weekend warrior.
One last quickie thing, though. The other thing that I got from Ginger was I think she is picking up for some reason. Something's going on with you, Shanita, and I don't know if it's just because you're worried about Ginger that you're have some heavy energy around you, but she's also picking up on she's worried. She's actually worried about you and the heaviness of whatever it is that you're carrying, and so she wants to play and she wants to go out and be more of a terrier to lighten up so that it helps you lighten up. So I don't know what's going on there, but there might be something energetically. So check what's going on with yourself and see if maybe, because they feel what we feel. You can't hide that from them. Better to talk to them about what's going on than to make believe that it's not going on. Just a quickie thought.
Beautiful. I love that. Okay. Let me make sure that I'm pulling the right question. So Donna says, does my 1.5-year-old cat, Riley, like being the only pet, or would she like another cat in the house? I love these questions.
That's a good one. Okay, Riley. Okay. I don't know what you guys are getting, but Riley came in, he's like, listen, I am all that in a bag of chips. So whoever comes in is going to be under my rule.
Yep.
It was kind of like, I will be in charge or they will be slapped. So if there's going to be a possibility of a second cat, needs to be definitely the one who goes, yes, Riley, whatever you say, and adores Riley and lets Riley be in charge.
Yeah, I was getting something similar. It's just like, as long as it's someone I can pick on. I mean, and it was this, just the hierarchy, the very certain, smaller rung of the ladder for sure.
And I saw like a baseball, I don't know what all the words are, like a base umpire or referee going like, out, no. And the immediate impression I got was Riley saying, no, absolutely not. But then he's like, but maybe if I had someone to be in charge of, but there's definitely not I'm going to sit back and accept this. There's more either I'm going to be in charge or absolutely not.
Yeah. I got all that too, making me laugh. Yeah.
Riley's pretty funny.
So she doesn't need.
Yeah. When I asked the question, I actually busted out laughing. I couldn't help it. Okay. Good luck with that, Donna. We wish you all the best. Okay. And I just got to tell you, you guys are crushing it with the donations. I don't know. I don't have words. I'm blown away. All the donations are going to Cane's Crusades, which I'm thrilled about because it's a great animal rescue organization. So you give them to me, I give them to them, and it's done. And they save animals' lives. So that's really cool. My next question, rainbows and moonbeams. Don't y'all love that name? My pit bull, Xena, alive now. What was her life before I rescued her a few months ago? And I'm going to add, because I feel like this spirit's telling me, or you guys would probably do it anyway. And does Xena have something to tell her?
Right. Yeah. Okay, Xena. I love the name.
I'm getting scared dog. I'm getting the dog in the corner of the shelter, or in the corner of the cage, in the corner of the room, misunderstood. I mean, obviously it's a pit bull, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting fatigue and you see me stretching my arms, like my arms feel tired, and it feels like I've been boxing, like I've been punching a punching bag, that I've been fighting to fight, and I'm just a little tired from it.
Yeah, I was getting that along the lines of what Heather was saying with misunderstood, is like people looked at me and dismissed me outright. They don't realize her name is rather fitting to her, the power in a good way that she obviously has. She also says it's in the past. Like for her, it happened, but she's so grateful that she's in a new situation right now. Like I feel a strength, but a strength that comes from gratitude. So it's not like a mushy gratitude. It's just like, and now I'm here and I've got things to do and we're going to go have some fun. That's how it feels right now.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay. And somebody did mention, do one of you guys have a kitty cat that we hear meowing? Is that yours?
Yeah, that probably is me.
That's okay. That's okay.
He wants in, but then he's going to want out.
Yeah, I understand. Control
And mine's
issues.
sleeping right here below the view of the camera, right? So she's good.
Okay, super. All right, we're going to move on to Seascape, another awesome name. My dog, Sydney, had an adenoma. Is that how you say that? Removed from her memory last December. Is she cancer-free? So last December, she had something removed.
Sydney. All right, Sydney.
Sydney, yes.
So I'm hearing from Sydney, a whole new world, whatever that song is, like Disney song or something. So
I wish we could play music on YouTube, but we can't.
oh, yeah.
No, you can sing it. That's okay. Go ahead.
Because it was off key, so good. That's what I'm hearing from Sydney.
So I connected with Sydney and I said, just show me how you feel right now. Show me how your body feels as far as its balance. Is it in harmony? And I feel that whatever that cancer was, it was removed, but the energy of it potentially is still hovering. So Seascape, what I would suggest to you is to really take a look at how you're feeding her.
Feeding? Okay.
Feeding. Make sure that I'm sorry to the people who are going to skewer me for this, but please, because she's had cancer, please take a look at what she's feeding. There's some amazing information out there for helping keep dogs healthy. One of them is a new book that just came out from Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney Habib called The Forever Dog. It does talk about what is the right mix of foods to feed to keep a dog healthy, particularly keep cancer at bay. So you might want to look into that and look into that blog. No kibble would be a great start. Going to human grade quality meat. I do feel like right now you've got an opportunity to keep it at bay. That's the feeling that it feels like, but there is a remnant vibration there from all the energy work and stuff that I do. You can see all the Chinese stuff in the background. That saying if you can get ahead of it now and start really looking at what are the right appropriate human grade quality foods to feed her, to keep it at bay.
Because I was getting something like you haven't seen the last of it necessarily.
Yeah.
That it's definitely something that you need to keep up with, scans and whatnot.
Yep.
And it feels to me like there's an element of hesitation or fear or there's a fear of this. And there's an energy around that I think that you need to be aware of and acknowledge. Excuse me. And when I do that, it generally means speak your truth, feel your way through, acknowledge it, feel it, so that you can move through it and let it go. And side note, Karen has an incredible ability to hone in on these physical things. So I'm so glad that Karen, you took that one first. I really trust the way that you feel into the animals' bodies.
Thank you, Meredith.
So there's nothing now, but we need to be vigilant, right? And we need to make sure that the food that we're feeding our animals isn't causing more problems. And so look into that and just probably get regular checkups. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to actually post a question because I don't know how to do this. Okay, so let's see. Can I do it this way? No. Okay, so I'm going to read you guys a question because it's when they give a donation, it's called a super chat or whatever, and it's not in the actual chat. It's a little different. Okay. So I'm going to read it to you because she gave Cane's Crusades $199 donation. So I know I that might be the max that you can give. So I really want to get her question. Okay. So, and I can't put it on the screen, so I'm going to read it. This is Liz Rees, and thank you so much, Liz. She says, and she was here last time. So she says, you read on my dog Ellie last time. She has since passed on. Was she ready? It was so hard. She perked up when we brought her in. Is she with us?
Okay. Oh, first of all, we're so sorry for your loss. And I'm so glad we got to talk to Ellie when she was here. I do remember her. So we'll just take a minute to tap into her and make sure we get you the messages from her about her passing.
Right now. Just got a dog bouncing around, like bouncing in, doing like that bucking bronco kind of thing with showing joy. So if the question is, was she ready to go, or she's just showing that she is in such a good place now that she's free from her pain.
So frequently when an animal is passing, there's like this energetic burst that helps them kind of move into the next realm. So we as humans take that into ourselves and doubt, oh, she looked so much better in that split second. Did I make the wrong decision? But I personally believe from the work that I've done with the animals that this is kind of that I'm getting a Star Trek or spaceship reference, like the turbo boost that it takes to kind of get them to cross over. You should not doubt that you were in the right place at the right time, and trust that burst that she had was her breaking free of this realm and this energy to go into the next realm. I hope that's helpful.
And I just wanted to add that I do feel a little sadness from her, only in that she knows that you are sad. And so she's just acknowledging that she too misses the physicality. However, she feels very much right here on my face as if I were rubbing my face in her fur. That's how she's making me feel. So if you have that sensation, know that is her. That's what she's that's what she wants me to share with you, so that you can feel her right here.
So she's with her. So then you're saying as well, she's
yeah, I feel that too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I also heard her say, please tell Mom thank you. She says she is agreeing that it was her time, that you think you made a mistake, but you really didn't. And that freeing her as giving her room to do things that she couldn't do at the end when she was she's saying stuck inside. And I'm getting chills, like when she's saying this to me, like she felt stuck inside at the end. And the burst of energy was her trying to help herself get out, but she needed help. So she's just saying, thank you for helping me, so I'm not stuck inside anymore. And she's like this really, I can see all this light around her, and like I can take a breath, like, and my skin feels better now. Everything just feels bigger and more open and better now. So she's really appreciative. You didn't make a mistake, I guess, is what she's trying to tell you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Okay. We're going to move on to Buffy 2222. Her dog is named Slater, I think. And is Slater happy being an only pet?
Sorry, he's making me laugh right away because I get this like move like this, and he's like, Mom is mine. Like, yeah. Fine being that only. Yeah. That's what I get. A lot of attitude.
Yeah.
I get that he's very proud of who he is, and his there's a confidence about him that shows that he doesn't need another pet. And I'm getting the word need, like he keeps saying need, and then I'm also getting this like little winky shifting, like again, need another, but he acts as though he'd be very interested maybe in visiting some others, like making some friends.
Yep.
So as Heather's saying the word need, I'm hearing the word want. And he's going, yeah, I'm saying need. But what I really mean is I don't want another pet. Like, I'm all that. I've got all of this space to myself. But I do agree, Heather, with what you're saying, that he might like enjoy a play date. He would like to have friends on the side. But I'm hearing like long distance relationship. You get all the benefits without all the hassle.
Yeah.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah.
This dog wants friends with benefits.
But not the same kind.
Don't move into my house, though. Don't be moving to my house.
I'll play with you down the street, but you're
Yep.
not living here. Yeah.
And he keeps showing me this little, I don't know how big Slater is, but he keeps showing me this little guy that I think he's friends with because he gets a kick out of him. He likes telling everybody else what to do. So he likes being the one in charge, which is why I think he likes being with his friends, and then they get to go home. So that he gets to go home and have all the luxury to himself.
Aw, yeah, exactly. Friends with benefits.
Yeah.
No strings attached over here.
He's very funny.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Allie, for that donation. Allie was with us last time, and you guys read her pet, and she's super grateful for you. Let's see. So, Doris, you have a question, but we really need names. For these ladies to connect, we're doing this super quick. If you guys don't know, these wonderful pet communicators, psychics, are connecting with your animals like that. And giving you messages, but we do need their name. We need to know if they're crossed over or in spirit. I see that they're in spirit, but I don't have the name. So please post your question again with the name if you don't mind. Okay, Bohemian Sag wants to know, just put my cat Poppy, love that name, on insulin. What does she think of that? Thank you so much. You guys asking cats' opinions. Y'all got some nerve. Y'all got some nerve.
Yeah. Cats will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You fixing to hear it.
The sense I get right away is of a leveling off, like and a very smart aleck cat saying, like, who is interested in getting medicated? Like, kind of a dumb question, but the fact that I get the leveling off of the balance. So it's this, yeah, I don't like it, but I like it because it's making her feel more like herself. She wasn't feeling like herself, and she also makes it sound like she was kind of an ass, and now she's feeling more, like more level. Is that wrong to say? She was not being kind.
I totally get that, Heather. Like she didn't feel great, so she was really nasty to the folks around her. And as the former parent of a cat that had twice daily insulin injections, my cat was like, oh, I just have to tolerate this, because it did level him out and it did make him feel better. Now, had it been any of the other 4 cats that I had at the time, we probably would have been out of luck because they would not have accepted their injections. Boris was the one who just took it and leveled out. So I think that your cat is accepting this treatment, knowing that it's something that needs to happen, doesn't love it, but feels okay because it makes her feel so much better. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I would like to add, she's also bringing me to her digestion. Like, something is off with her digestion. I don't know, again, the food thing. I don't know what you're feeding her, but what it feels like to me, she needs a quality collagen protein mix put into her system. You can get really great. I know Meredith laughs at this stuff. It just comes right in. I'm sorry.
I love it. It's amazing.
But you need, there's something about some bone broth, and also feeding her more than twice a day, but in smaller amounts to keep the blood levels more balanced. It may help. You may find that, I don't know how bad the diabetes is, why she needs insulin, but there is something off in her system protein wise, it feels like to me. So maybe adding some really high quality bone broth with without human spices, so pure, like no extra spices in there. Can't tolerate that. Like either a beef bone broth or a rabbit bone broth, which you can order online frozen and have it shipped to your house. It might be helpful to mix in with her food.
And
Okay.
That's what I got.
I have nothing to
Is
add.
that good enough?
Yeah.
All right. We have a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to speed us up some. Okay. I hope that was helpful for you, Bohemian. Okay. So Paula, let's see. Paula says, I'm not sure if that's a typo. I'm just going to say Lulu passed in May. Does daughter Wee Wee want a pet companion doggy? The mama of Lulu, maybe? I don't even understand your question, Paula. I'm sorry. But Paul, let's say Lulu passed in May. Does the daughter, Wee Wee, want a pet companion doggy?
So I'm guessing they were all dogs because...
I'm guessing Lulu was mom and Wee Wee's the daughter, and Wee Wee's alive. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I wasn't good
Just
at
go to
word
Wee Wee and
problems
see what it says.
in elementary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tell us.
So I do hear from Wee Wee that she does miss her mom. And she does feel there is a bit of a loss there. The cat maybe accentuated the point. And the way Wee Wee makes me feel about getting another dog is it could work, but Wee Wee's making me feel like it needs to be an older dog, meaning that someone she can look up to and still learn from, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how it's feeling to me.
So maybe rescue a dog, and a little bit of an older dog. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anybody else have something quickly?
I got the sense that there's a lot of energy and chaos going on around Wee Wee, and she doesn't want any more than there already is. Mm-hmm. So if there's going to be another dog, it needs to have a very calming temperament, and I would say let Wee Wee approve.
Yeah, a gentle spirit.
Calmer. Somebody helps calm the energy of the space in the house.
Mm-hmm. Chill vibe.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. Is that okay? Can we move on?
Sure.
Fantastic. Let's see. Kristen says, any message from my angel Gandhi, little Chihuahua mix, love of my life, past July. Sorry, I'm trying to get it. 25th.
I'll be happy to jump right in there if that's okay with everyone. It's funny when you said Gandhi. I think it may be Gandhi, but I immediately saw Gandhi and immediately saw like, very much monk-like in robes, meditating, and the message feels to me very much like calm your energy, calm your spirit. That there's a need to accept, allow, and breathe through the issues in your life, and that's a message coming to you from your angel, whether that's Gandhi or Gandhi, but coming through definitely very Gandhi-esque.
For some reason, I'm getting this. The world is a better place with you still in it. And I don't know. It was just a really heavy. I don't know if the passing was really, really heavy. And if you had a lot of trouble with that, because it feels like you were in a very dark place. And she wants you to remember that the world needs you.
I mean, I don't normally say this in these kinds of quickie readings, but in this case, Kristen, I actually feel like whoever you feel most comfortable with, whether it's one of us or someone else, I actually feel like it's important for you to have like a private reading. There's a lot of information that Gandhi could tell you, and a lot of things that I feel like you have a lot of questions about that we just can't do in a few minutes here. But I do feel like it's important that you got heard tonight, because I do feel like if you find the right one of us or anyone in our bigger group that you feel comfortable with, I think that it would help heal your heart. And I know that that's what she wants to do, is help you understand some stuff.
Mm-hmm. I will say too, I did ask Gandy, how can Kristen know that you're there? And I feel her very much around my ankles and twirling around like almost an infinity sign. And important that I said infinity and not figure eight, because Gandy said infinity sign around your feet and your ankles. So know that she's with you, and that's how you can feel her. So
That's beautiful. So for you guys watching, these wonderful pet psychics, animal communicators, you can find their information in the description. And really quickly, let's start with each of you. Tell us what your name is so that they can find your particular contact information. And if you use, when you click on the link, when you book an appointment, if you use Susan 10 as the promo code, you can save $10. So everybody introduce yourselves really quickly one more time.
I'm Karen Dendy Smith. Next.
I'm Heather Anderson.
I'm Meredith Deas Tollison.
and I'm Julie Hirt.
Okay, great. We might have you do it one more time before we are done with this thing. So Angel Wings wants to know, again, we're going to try to be fast so we can get as many people as we can in here. Does my rescue dog Sadie tell me what her life was like before me and if she had puppies? Wow. Interesting.
Okay, Sadie.
I do get the sense from her right away that there were like little ones that she was counting. I'm getting a very like a Mary Poppins vibe from her. I don't know, like, is that Julie Andrews? I don't know. She played both parts, right? Sound of Music and
I actually physically felt like puppies drink, like I felt like my, I felt like there were puppies milk being fed from me. So I had to say it. It was a very odd
feeling. Thank you
feeling.
for being discreet.
Yes. Wow, that was interesting, Sadie. But also that it went too quick. That whatever it was, she didn't get. She doesn't feel like she got to keep them long enough. Just so you know.
I see the fairy godmother from Cinderella with a great big wand with the sparkly star on the end, the bibbity bobbity boo, whatever all of that silliness was. But she's touching her wand on tiny noses and she's saying her thing. And it feels like a fairy godmother, a guardian angel thing. So I agree with Karen that it feels like these puppies did come into life, but maybe did not live a full life, but she's touching them with a wand, and there's glitter and there's sparkles and there's some sort of blessing upon each of them. I can't confirm whether it was a too short lifespan, but there feels something very blessing like with this touching of a fairy godmother's wand.
Yeah, you can go. I got it. I got what they got, and I didn't have anything to add. You can continue.
Okay. I've got multiple pages open here. This is like high tech for me. So the moderators, one of my moderators wants me to read this question. So I'm not going to be able to put it on the screen because it's from a different screen. But let's go ahead and try it. Colette. Pamela, this is the right one, I hope. This is the right Colette, okay? I'm going to just guess that it is. Her niece's Shih Tzu dog, Molly, ran through the woods to my house constantly, okay? I took her and kept her for 3 weeks because she was tied outside in 92-degree weather. But they took her back. They took Molly back from her. And she's concerned about Molly, so she wants to know if Molly has anything that she might share with Colette.
That's a tough situation.
Mm-hmm. Could I ask Susan to Colette's house regularly and then went back home?
You froze for a minute, dear, but here's what I understand that's happening is this woman has a niece, her niece has a dog that's a Shih Tzu named Molly. Molly would get away from her niece and run to Colette's house. And Colette finally kept her because Molly was being tied up outside in the heat. And so they've taken Molly back, and they want to know, Colette wants to know, is there anything Molly wants to tell her? Is there any message? She's really worried about Molly.
Thank you.
So I very much feel that Molly's working with both parties
Yes.
on different levels, and I too feel like for me there feels like there's things that really should be more in a private reading, that can't necessarily be discussed right here. So it feels like there's two parties involved, but there's lessons on both ends, and Molly's trying to have some things move forward, and that's why she's running. So I'll leave it there. If anybody has anything else to say, though, please. But
I have to be honest, I'm really sorry, but Colette's this woman's name, I think. I don't necessarily feel like this is the right forum for me to share some things that I might be picking up from Molly, except to say, or the dog's name is Molly?
Yes.
Okay, for Molly, except to say that there is a reason why she keeps running to you, and there is something for you to pay attention to, that how it's making you feel and what you need to do with that. So she is trying to wake up something in you. But I really don't feel like it's appropriate to say much more than that right now.
And I hope you guys understand that some of this stuff is really private, that we don't really feel comfortable saying in front of a couple of hundred people.
And also because it involves someone who is the actual owner at this moment of the dog, and we can't pry in. It's kind of one of our honor code rules. We really can't pry into that.
Yeah, usually, and some people probably don't know this too, that usually we don't do readings for like neighbors. If your neighbor's dog, something, if we don't have permission from the actual caretaker of the animal, then it doesn't feel right to just pry, like you said. So
I'm so sorry, though. I will say this. I can promise you that all of our hearts go out to you. Yeah. It's a terrible situation. It would cause all of us a lot of distress. So we're compassionate with you, for you. I'm sorry you're in this situation. Again, you can book readings with these ladies. In the description, you'll see all their names. And when you click on their website connection, you'll see probably a picture of them. So you'll be able to figure out who you're talking to at that point too as well. If you use Susan 10, you'll get a discount in the promo. Okay, I'm so sorry. That's a really hard situation. Okay, Kathy says, hi all, a black cat adopted us a couple of months ago after following us home one night while walking our dog. Now this cat's got some cojones, or smokers. Any insight into her prior life? It's interesting why people want to know about the prior life, because I'm getting, often when I'm getting these questions for you guys, I'm getting the pet doesn't give a squat about the prior life. The pet's all about, let me tell you about this life I got now. Let me talk to you about the stinky dog. Let me tell you about dad, mom. They want to talk about their life right now, or maybe why this cat chose you, right?
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah. And we believe too, or practice as well in soul level. So we try to understand what is it that animal is teaching you. So absolutely, the black cat chose you for a reason, to teach you, work with you on something, help you evolve, help you grow. So that would be,
I want to say something about that really quickly, because we've not talked about that. I'm not going to get really deep into it, but I do want to say that these ladies that are all certified pet communicators, they've learned pet communication in a little bit different way. They're not just psychics. They're actually soul level communicators. So that's one of the reasons why they kind of were mentioning Molly and the soul lesson and that kind of thing. Their readings are deeper. They're just different level of reading. So that's what she's talking about when she says that we read on a soul level. Anybody else have anything about why this black cat strolled home with a dog?
I actually, when I read that about what was going on in the prior life, the cat came over and said, well, just tell them it's good to see them. It was good to see them again, like from a different life. So I don't know how many people here actually believe in reincarnation, but what I was getting was it's the prior life was a whole different human life. The person's a different life with that animal, and they were coming back to them again in this life to continue a relationship. And that's why they chose you so easily, because they recognized the person and went, oh, there they are again. This is where I belong again. And it triggered something in them to be like, oh, it's a continuation of spirit to spirit. That's what I got.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Very
Anybody
comfortable.
else?
Just very, very comfortable. I get that, like the cat walked up and it was just like a normal thing, as if the cat had been doing that all the time. But I get more of like the previous life being kind of a dog companionship rather than a cat companionship. I don't know, but it's just so comfortable. And there is a cockiness about this cat that is just fairly entertaining, because it's like a cartoon. I know oftentimes I get cartoon like feelings from animals because there's just that confidence. There's a cartoon confidence in this cat.
So I agree that this cat is very confident and very comfortable, like just here. And, we've been together before and it's no big deal, but doesn't really want to talk about any of that. It's almost like it's not significant. It just is. I do not love the expression, it is what it is, but that's the expression I'm getting from this cat is, it is what it is. You know me, you know me, you've known me before, but we don't have to talk about all that. Let's just enjoy where we are and what it is right now.
Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay. I hope that was helpful, Kathy. So now we're going to go on to Gloria. This is Cat. We're in the cat land now. My cat, Ursa, a male, 16 and a half years, hypothyroidism and skin lesions. One on the left leg inflamed. That's not really a question, but I'm going to turn it into a question for you. I guess, what does Ursa have to say about all that's going on?
I mean, my system just feels really hot. I had a cat with hypothyroidism. So I don't know if you've got him on methimazole or something where you're helping to like lower the heightenedness of the thyroid activity, but he needs something to help cool down his system internally, because I can feel like even my blood is kind of like, like everything's just a little bit too hot in his system.
Pressure, my head, warm. I don't know. There's just like well, it's more than a discomfort.
Yeah, I got that too. And I also feel like my sleep cycle is off. I heard sleep cycle and I see like night is day and day is night. So I'm not sure if he's affected by that right now, but that's time is off is what I hear right now.
Yeah. This is the type of thing where if I love all vets, they all love animals. I respect all vets, but this feels to me like the kind of situation that if whatever your Western medicine vet is not getting it, there's something here underneath either the cat needs to be put on some sort of a thyroid balancer, but there's potentially a need for something else too, a different kind of a food or a different kind of maybe some Chinese herbs, something that helps cool the system. So I would say look into a holistic vet in your area. If you can find one, and two, if you can afford it.
I heard toxins.
Yeah, something's just off in the blood.
Yeah.
I hope that helps, Gloria.
They could get a second opinion, it sounds like.
Yep.
If you don't have the option of a holistic vet or any of those things, you may want to get a second opinion. That sounds like maybe that would work as well.
You might be allergic to the food he's on at this point too.
Right.
So switching the food might help. So.
Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. Moonchild says, what is up with my dog Buddy's attitude? Male Jack Russell Terrier. Well, first of all, when you ask him about his attitude, you're going to get more attitude. So good luck.
And I read that as Jack Russell / terror. Terror.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, Buddy's got an attitude. He's a little bit of a terror, and he strikes me as a toddler who is throwing his blocks, and like he picks up a stick in the yard and then he chases the neighbors with it. That he's just a little he's acting out a little bit in the context of he's got the tools in his toolbox of a toddler. He doesn't really have that many tools. He's only got one, and it's a big block and it's a big hammer. And so he's going to chase everyone around with those things because he doesn't know what else to do. He needs an expression, but he hasn't learned the ways that are appropriate to express himself. So he's just going to do it. Like I see him stripping off his diaper in the yard, to the humiliation of the parents and the neighbors. There's a sense of he just needs to let it all out, but he doesn't know the right way to do it. The acceptable way to do it.
I heard right away, you signed up for this. And I'm just laughing when, the dog's attitude, it's a male Jack Russell. They have all kinds of attitude unless you work through that with them. So he just seems to be this bounding like mass of do something with me, figure it out. So it feels to me like there's a definite role for Moonchild in the training. There's something more to be done to work with this childishness, the adolescent or preteen, whatever he's presenting himself as. Mm-hmm. A stricter, more disciplinary type role for him. He would do okay with that once he realized it was being put in place.
Yeah, I agree. Because the first thing I got was that he has a job to do with all of this other, with what Meredith and Heather were saying too. It's like in the absence of anything else, I'm stepping up and I'm taking control is how it feels to me too. Yeah. Much like a toddler would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome.
You need something to do is what I heard.
Give them something to do, right? Redirect. I hear like redirect, right? Like managed play or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he could really be transformed with some sort of training or working with you in some way.
I agree.
Good job.
Okay, I'm going to move on to Any Baby, 18-year-old cat. Mimi died in July. I'm so sorry for your loss. Mm-hmm. Any message? And is she with her babies? Any meeny, miny, mo.
That's amazing.
Oh, do they know how much I miss them? Oh, of course they do, honey. Of course they do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Died in July. So I don't know how I'm hearing this. It's almost like I'm hearing it from like a Shakespeare play. Like it was a good death. It was an honorable death. Like I don't know why, but it's like there's a lot of honor around her passing, and so it's like it was an honorable death. Like she hung in there or something.
I'm getting a Bambi scene. I'm getting like, the bunnies, the whole field of flowers and all the cuteness. I don't know. It's a Disney thing that's coming through in the sweetest way, that the question is she with her babies? And it's just very much like they've all returned to this state of innocence, and they're bound. I know it's very kind of a cliche thing that I'm seeing, but that's the cuteness that she's sending, that she wants her to see.
And at the same time, I got the Three Stooges, but more in like, because they were brothers, right? And I know these are but there's a brotherly and a ribbing one another, and so they're all hanging out and having fun and doing all the weird noises that the Three Stooges would do. So there's also a really strong sense of play and happiness and lightness, but I also feel all of them like swirling all around my head and around my neck, and that is for you, any baby, so that you know that that's where they kind of hang out. They're all over you. I'm surprised you can breathe sometimes because they're all over you.
I know there was something about a rabbit that keeps coming by here.
I know. I'm trying to read these in order. I could try to jump ahead to the rabbit, but I'm trying to just read them down the order.
Okay.
That's why I was suggesting if we do the questions where only 2 people read on the question, we'll go twice as fast.
Okay.
And we'll be able to read twice as many questions. So I don't really understand this, Mary. Maybe y'all can help me out. I lost my one at George in June. Is that cat? Maybe I lost my cat George in June. I lost my other at. Maybe that's cat too. Lucian in September. Are they okay? We miss them dearly. I know they're typos, guys, but we really do have to have this information, and we need to be able to read it. Mary, are you in the chat really quickly? Can you let me know if these are cats, please? If not, we'll skip over this maybe and come back.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell if they're cats or not. And I know we've been reading for a while. And I know these questions came in about 30, 40 minutes ago, but I'm going as fast as I can. These are free readings. So we're doing our best over here. We appreciate your patience. All right. I think I'm going to move on. I'm sorry. I can't tell if that's Liz. All right, let me go down. I'm just going to swing down here a bit. Which animals are in my home? All right, Mary Sullivan is a great supporter. Also, thank you, dear. And she has abilities, too. My 4-year-old Shih Tzu has a barking problem, I think, whenever my husband or I step out of the vehicle. What can you guys, any 2 of you guys want to take that and talk about what the barking issue is whenever someone leaves the vehicle?
I'll jump in. I also have a background in behavior training. This feels very much to me like excitement, like, oh my God, you're home. It doesn't feel like a problem. It's only the humans who see it as a problem. To the dog, it's just a manner of expression. It's a manner of saying, I'm so glad you're home, and I'd like to tell you all of these things. Now, if this is an issue that the human and the dog need to sort out, that's something we could delve a little bit deeper into. But the dog doesn't see it as a problem. The dog simply an expression of emotion.
I was seeing
get on track with the human.
I was seeing this from everybody being in the car, and then the human stepping out of the car, and the dog's like left in the car barking. That was the perspective I was seeing this question from, which was hilarious because it was just like, okay, now I have to protect my space. But it was a whole different way you were seeing it. You were seeing the dog at home watching the mom and dad come home.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
No, I was seeing it as the dog at the house watching the purple in the driveway, not the dog in the parking lot at the convenience store waiting for the parents to go. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? I wonder what the actual situation is.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're curious.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit. Irish Colleen says, what does my service dog Lulu, who's a girl, golden retriever, want to tell me?
Okay. Tell.
So I immediately have her salute, and I hear the phrase, it's an honor. At the exact same time, though, she's like, could we just incorporate a little bit more play into, like, more free form play, just a little more, understanding she's a service dog, but any type of play that you could do with her. She does want to make you laugh, is what I hear her say.
Yeah, I feel the same as Julie. I feel like she's trying to make you happy. She's trying to uplift your emotions in some way. And I just see her looking at you like, like trying to get you out of whatever head space that you might be in at the time. I feel like she's trying, like she recognizes there's something going on with Irish Colleen where you withdraw a little bit into yourself a lot. There's something about you withdrawing into yourself, and Lulu trying to be like, come back, come play with me, come back, that kind of a thing. So I don't know if you get into your head a lot and Lulu's trying to like pull you back out into the present. But when when she's showing you that energy, and she's like, come walk with me, but walk with me, don't just walk me. So there's something about being really present and noticing things from Lulu's perspective that I think would be helpful, because she's trying to pull me into look. So there's something there about becoming a little more present with her. And I just want to announce one of our dear readers was wonderful to come and do this with us this evening, Julie. So Julie, we want to thank you. And I know she has to leave it sooner than the rest of us because she has a family engagement. But Heather and myself, Karen and Meredith, are here for a little bit longer, so we can continue. Just an FYI in case Julie goes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Julie, for joining us. If you have to go, we understand. We appreciate all that you've done for us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was looking for the rabbit post, but I can't find it. And there's so many questions. There's probably 50 questions in here. There's no way we're going to get to all these questions, you guys. But we are going to take a few more. All right. I'm going to go to Melissa and say, she says, should I find a new home for Patches? I have 2 female rescue cats, both 10 years old. The new one, which is Patches, I can pet, but is skittish. Resident is Tuffy. Gray Manx have a detente. Don't get along. Advice for them.
Okay. So the question here, just so we're super clear on this, is Patches is a female rescue. No, wait. Patches is a new cat, but doesn't seem to be getting along with the 2 that are already in the home. I would ask Patches, what do we need to know about your living situation and what is important for us to tell Melissa?
I heard almost immediately, don't give up. This feels like a simple, I say simple because it's never simple. Sometimes it happens quickly and sometimes it doesn't. But going back, and this feels more like a training thing than it does an intuitive thing. It's about they need to start over. They need to try again. They need to go back to square one. They can do this. That it's certainly possible. Because Elliot says it's possible. You can hear him meowing and telling you it's possible.
I think he just said, did you just say training and cat in the same sentence? Did you just
It works. It works.
I think that's what he's talking about. He's like, Mom, for real?
Well, and I always wonder about how they do the introductions, but it feels like that something was pushed with the introductions, and that Melissa, it's not that she's she's thinking about an easy way out, but it feels like she just isn't sure. She's never sure that it can always work. And I'm getting this, just a feeling that, like, come on, work a little harder. Like Patches is saying, you can work a little harder on this. And it's not about giving up, but it's about going ahead and recognizing that, yeah, you can do this.
Are there things, is there something, because we're talking to Patches, but we also have this other cat that we're not talking to. And I'm feeling like Patches is like, we can do this, but the other cat is like, no, we can't. So can you think of something specifically? Go ahead, jump in.
So I'm hearing more from Tuffy.
That I knew, I knew the other cat was like, somebody needs to talk to me.
And it's amazing. This is one of the cool things about this work, is that the animals bring us the information in a way that we can understand and we can put into words and present to the clients. So Tuffy reminds me of a friend of mine who was a competitive roller skater. So this is back in the early 80s. And she wore these sparkly jumpsuits and she went out and did these roller skating competitions. Swear to God. So I'm seeing a lot of my friend Tuffy in Kitty Tuffy. And Tuffy was all that. If we had a Z snap back in the late 70s, early 80s, that's what she would have had. So tough.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. So Tuffy
The suspense.
is killing us.
Please. Okay,
yeah,
wait. You froze. You froze. You might have to back up a little bit quickly.
Okay, so Tuffy is presenting to me like putting on the show, like the hair and the makeup and the costume and the choreography and everything else. And Patches is kind of sitting back, letting Tuffy have that limelight. Tuffy knows she is not all that, but it's part of the production. It's part of the acting. So Patches is just kind of sitting back waiting for Tuffy to go off stage and go into a costume change and take off the hair and makeup and then step out and go, empty stage, empty audience, here I am. It feels like a bit of a patience, just waiting for this one to finish putting on all of these airs, and then Patch is going to step into his or her own.
Okay.
Her own.
Okay,
female.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about, I don't know what the freezing's about.
That's okay. That's
Internet.
Okay, here is the famous rabbit question.
Oh, finally. Okay.
Oh, Julie. Julie the rabbit.
Okay.
Hi, may I please ask about my deceased rabbit, Julie? Female question mark. Lost her when I was 5. A dog chased her out of the house. Dad claimed she was hit by a car, but Dad lied often. Did I let her down? Can we talk to Julie the rabbit? I'm sorry, Julie. I feel like you've been waiting patiently, I might add. Please come in and talk to us.
Okay. First of all, before we even get into the reading, I want to say to A, because that's all we have for an actual name. At 5 years old, you can't let an animal down at 5 years old. Okay, so let's just start. We just need to level set here. Okay, things happen. All of these things happen for a reason, for our soul to have an experience and a lesson, including Julie, and the things that you had to think about growing up, the lessons that you learned as you thought about what happened with Julie. So you did not let Julie down. Let's just say, let's start there. And so we'll call in Julie so that she can help shed some light on the situation, because as a 5-year-old, it was not your responsibility. It could not have been your responsibility to make sure Julie was safe, whether you feel that way or not. So let's just take a breath, because I feel your pain carrying that for so long. And let's see what Julie can say to help heal your heart a little bit. Okay.
So I see Julie actually rocking the cradle, holding a baby, sitting in a rocking chair. This feels to me like Julie had a nurturing role for you as you were a tiny child, that there was something Julie did for you that helped bring you in yourself and into your confidence. And as Karen said, you have to forgive yourself for the fear of having let Julie down. Julie feels
Uh-oh.
Okay, we'll pick up where she left off.
Okay.
Heather, are you getting something?
Well, what I was getting was that it was sad, but a really hard lesson for a 5-year-old to learn, that this that was a big piece of it. Not, of course, it wasn't her fault, but there was something with the situation in the household. The dog, I mean, the dog chasing her out was just a small piece of why it's what it feels like she's saying is why her life in that house was always kind of in limbo. That there was, and it has nothing to do with a child, but there was something with the other animal that was always going to be a problem. And if it wasn't that way, because the feeling that I get from her is that she wasn't destined to be around a very long time. And I don't know how long a rabbit usually lives, but
Yeah,
it's just very sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of heaviness to this one, but I mean, what I feel from Julie now is that I mean, I don't actually see her as a rabbit anymore. I mean, her spirit is like this big energy around you trying to guide you. And here's the thing, she's what I would call an awakening animal. She kind of woke you up back then. We've all had them whether we become intuitives like this or not. There's usually an animal in a lot of our lives that wake us up to the fact that there's a deeper bond of unconditional love and support that we get from animals that we need to kind of respect and honor. And you've been carrying this for so long with Julie because she's been trying to, I mean, that moment really woke you up to, wait a minute, there's a bond here that's really special. That awareness in you she says, has made you a very compassionate person. And so for me, I feel like the lesson in it is that she broke, but also woke your heart up. And some of us have, I mean, I've had that happen to me. I had that happen to me in a moment at a zoo when I was about 4 or 5 years old. It's a whole long story about a gorilla who has since come back to me and talked to me in spirit. His name is Michael. That's what he tells me to call him anyway. But he woke me up with a great sadness as well. But I think what Julie's trying to say is our compassion comes from understanding each other and having love for each other, and the depth of unconditional love sometimes carries with it sadness when we lose someone that is that pure of a love. But it was really important for you to have that experience, is what Julie is making me feel, around the kind of person that you actually are now. So I'm sorry that you had that loss, but it wasn't your fault, is what she's saying.
I feel like I should add, I also feel that this is something that you could go deeper with, that this is something you have carried with you from childhood, and that I hope you will release yourself from, because it was not your responsibility, but it feels like this is connected to something something very important, something deeper in you. This connection with Julie is deeper even than you realize, and that this can help you. Understanding this relationship can help you move forward through some other challenges that you may be having in your life as well.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more to this.
Yep. And there's something about lighting a candle, and I don't know what that is. I just keep seeing candle. So maybe lighting a candle in her honor and having like an adult conversation, a heart-to-heart conversation with Julie in spirit, because she hears you.
Beautiful. Okay, I hope you can find some healing in that, dear. And forgive yourself. There was nothing to forgive yourself for, but I feel like you need to forgive yourself. So I'm going to move on to Romeo's rescuers. Our ginger boy Patch, 4.5 years old cat, is increasingly timid. Stable environment, no known stressors. How can we help him?
I got from him almost immediately the anxiety, the feeling, that similar feeling, like in my throat, in my mouth, in my chest, kind of closing up, but something that is not, because you're saying no known stressors in that age, or something about that age. Usually I get with like an adolescent cat, when like a hormonal change, I'm getting something more physical than emotional, something that comes up with children too, in adolescence, sometimes like a slight chemical imbalance. As soon as I said the words chemical imbalance, I almost felt like that there's a urinary issue that, I don't know why that's popping up in my head, but it just is. Strange.
I'm hearing no known stressors. The concept of the fact that we don't ever know what anyone else is going through. So what you may think is stressful for you is not stressful for someone else, and vice versa. That he has no known stressors, but there's something underlying that may not have even occurred to you that could be hard for him through no fault of your own. But I'm hearing step back, watch him, observe him, acknowledge him, and try and walk a mile in his shoes and try and understand that the things that might be stressing him out don't appear to be normal stressors for anyone else. But and I'm feeling something about hearing, like there's a high pitched sound, there's a battery in the smoke detector or carbon monoxide detector. There's something that you can't be aware of that he's aware of that is a stressor that does not appear to be an issue from what you can observe from your perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm feeling pressure in my head. Like there's something going on that he's overly sensitive because there's something going on in his head. And maybe it is a high-pitched sound like that, but whatever it is, I actually felt it in my ears, but going into my jaw and my teeth, like back here. So I don't know if his teeth have been checked or cleaned, but if there's something underlying up in the root or up in the gums, it can make them, when cats are in pain or they're just feeling discomfort, they can seem more timid or they start to hide more because they can't handle all the excess noise and sounds when they're in pain. So there may be something going on. To me, it feels like in the ears or in the gums or up in here. Yeah, there could be going on that you're just not aware of, to what Meredith is saying as well. And so I just want to remind people that if you need more help privately, we're here. I'm Karen. We have Meredith with the beautiful red lipstick on, and Heather with a super cool haircut. If you mention Susan 10 when you book a reading with any of us until November 30th, we'll give you a $10 discount, of course. And Susan, I don't know how much longer we all want to keep going. This takes a lot of energy, and we also cannot thank you all enough for all the support you're giving Cain's Crusade. Cain's Crusade's owner, Kim George, I am sure, is beyond blown away and grateful and just is sending love to all of you. She's an incredible woman. So, and the work that she does single-handedly, as well as with her volunteers and her board, is just mind-blowing. The animals that she and families she supports and saves. So I just can't thank you enough for all of that as well. Susan, I'm thinking maybe like one or two more before we have to wrap it up.
What we can do. I have, here's one right here. Purple Elephant says they're both living senior Chinese crested dog named Jack, adopted a year ago, and 1-year-old cat named Willie. One adopted a month ago. Okay, is there anything else I should be doing for either of them?
Okay,
and
so
before
Jack,
you guys answer, moderators, if there's one or two questions that have been not answered but been asked a lot, if you guys want to copy and paste them into the comments, I will get those 2 questions, and then we're going to have to move on. But thank you guys so much for joining us. And now we're going to answer Purple Elephant's question.
I am right in there with Willie One Eye. That sounds like an old blues master down in the Mississippi Delta. I'm in Mississippi, for those of you who don't know. And there's a joke that you've got to have like a name and then a something else with your blues name. Willie One Eye is totally a blues name. And I see him as this old man, like sitting in the Mississippi mud, like playing a guitar and playing a heck of a blues guitar. He's singing the blues. There's something that he's doing to express himself. He's creating an art form, creating a manner of expressing himself that's a little bit different than what you would want him to do. I don't know how to put that into words. The blues is a little bit different than the rock and roll, than the classical, than anything. He's expressing himself in a way that's a little less than accepted. There's a behavior issue that's coming out from Willie One Eye, the blues master. Karen?
I'm getting from Jack, is the one who's showing up for me. He, first of all, thank you for adopting a senior dog. That's incredible, because they have so much love to give. So it is a beautiful thing when we can do that. It's
No,
adopt.
is it a senior?
Senior Chinese crested dog.
Cat.
1-year-old cat, but also a senior
senior.
Chinese crested
I'm
dog
sorry.
named Jack.
Yeah,
So
you're right. I'm sorry.
if I'm reading that right, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
you're right. No, you're right.
Okay,
Right.
so that said, Jack feels a little crickety. Not horrible, but a little crickety, maybe a little arthritis going on. And I think he just is like, that young, that like Willie is a little much. So he's kind of wants to go a little smoother and slower than Willie would like to go. So giving him his space, giving him his bed, giving him his downtime, to me is what Jack is showing me, that he needs a little more space and downtime. He also feels a little bit cool to me. Like, I don't know if he's cool, if his temperature is a little cool, but I don't know what part of the country you're in, but he feels a little cool. So maybe whatever his little bed is, or the blanket, just to keep him a little warm at night when he's sleeping. To me, just
Jack
feels like he
has
could
a
use
heart
that.
condition. You're right. Jack has a heart condition, so that's probably what you're picking up on.
Yeah, he feels a little cool and could use some warmth. Yeah.
I'm just getting a visual of what they must look like, the two of them, because I know what a Chinese crested looks like, and now you've got this one-eyed cat, which I feel like, yeah, there's something you should be doing. They should be all over Instagram or something. They should definitely have an account, but it would have to be something super clever, because I feel like you're an ambassador, and maybe you know this already, that to be adopting these maybe otherwise difficult to adopt animals, that needs to be put out there. You need to share them.
Yeah.
So that's important, as
Yes.
the picture is
That's true.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do get that Instagram, be sure that Willie One Eye's got a guitar, because I see a naked dog and a big old fat cat with one eye and a guitar. And I love
I've
it.
got him as a pirate. He's a pirate in my vision. He's got his own little bird on his shoulder or something, just to add to it.
I love it. These two have a lot to express.
Mm-hmm.
And if you allow them to figure this out for themselves without trying to control the situation, I feel like they will come together and create their own boy band. Like, they're going to cut a mixtape here soon. If you just sit back and allow them that space to work out what they need to do together. They've got an art form that's going to become evident to you if you just let them do it. They're going to make up their own plays and choreography and dances and music and everything. Just let them do it.
Awesome. Okay, two more quick questions. We're going to do, this is lightning round. Linda Warren, can you tell me my cat Wednesday, that's such a great name, that left me in August, misses me as much as I miss her. I'm sorry, Melinda, your name is Sharon. I'm sorry. So Wednesday, she just wants a message from her cat Wednesday, who's in spirit.
Okay, so Wednesday, who passed in August.
I immediately have a chill all the way down my shoulders and down my arms. Wednesday is with you in some way.
Yep, I went. As soon as I called it Wednesday, she went right into my heart, and I could feel pressure on my legs. So, Melinda, I'm not sure if when you're sleeping or if you sit really quietly and just can breathe and get more calm, if you might feel a little heat or pressure on your thighs, but I feel like she's trying to show you that she's here for you. So if Wednesday saying, if you can just relax and kind of around thinking about me, then you might actually feel me settle onto you, is the words that I'm hearing.
Oh.
Yeah, she's very sweet. She's really loved you, Melinda.
So she wants to be on, like I feel the pressure, like the weight. Like you think, how can this cat be this heavy? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when they put extra weight on you, like they want you to know I'm laying on you for a reason, Yeah, I love that. Okay, Donna has, because I asked the moderators to throw me questions, so Donna has a question for Beth Murphy. Female dog living named Lita, I think. How does she feel with me, and what can I do to help her thrive?
Okay, Lita.
I'm seeing all sorts of organized PE games in school. The parachute game, foursquare, dodgeball, trying to learn volleyball, all of these organized forced participation activities. Lita would like for Beth to be present with her in forced participation activities. Let's create a game. Let's play Foursquare. Let's go shoot the basketball. Let's go pitch the baseball back and forth in the backyard. Whatever that means in dog terms, she wants Beth to create time together in some
Yep.
sort of way.
Yeah, I was
And I
getting
saw-
this something
ahead, I'm
very
sorry,
similar
Heather.
too. Sorry. That it's not just about the dog thriving; it's about Beth getting out there and doing too. So it's very much a helping for both of them. But Beth, it's funny because Beth doesn't realize it that that's what she needs
Yep.
to be a part of it.
Oh my God.
And I heard take me with you, and I see her in the car going places with you, but you actually going places that you think of for you and Lita as opposed to just taking her on errands. So coming up with some places to take Lita so that Lita can actually take you on a walk. So you think you're taking her, but when you think of the place you want to take Lita, it's actually going to be good for you. So that's I'm agreeing with Heather on this one for sure.
That is great advice. Really good advice. So, do we think we can do a yes no on this? Really, just this is the last one. Sam, Esme, 8-year-old French bulldog, has her spinal cord issue been diagnosed correctly?
Oh boy. Okay.
Just if you can even maybe yes, no, or very, very quickly.
8-year French has her spinal cord issue been diagnosed? Esme, what do you want us to know about your spinal cord?
I was seeing like a tumor on like pushing against the spinal cord, and I don't know. That's what my dog ended up having, but that's what I was seeing. So if that's what you've been told,
I feel a pain in my lower back, like right
I
above
also feel
my
in my spine. I feel like a part of my dog. I have to do it this way. Dog head, dog butt. Okay. Here, above the hips, in this area in the vertebrae, there is something off. Something's like out of whack and something's off. What I can't tell is if there's something pressing on it or getting something in the way, but something's definitely off in this area, the lumbar area. To me, it feels like something's. I'm trying to check. And it's definitely making my legs feel sciatica, one side more than the other. And I don't know if I'm mirroring or if I'm in the same direction, but so for me, it feels like left side, but I can't tell.
that's what I was getting left,
getting left
like
side
back
too?
left, yeah.
Yep, back left. It feels off.
I can't really feel my toes completely.
Yeah.
And my
Oh, no.
left leg has actually drifted behind me as I sit in my chair.
Oh no.
So definitely something spinal, but it feels more like a chiropractic adjustment than a big thing.
If there's a growth of there in any sort, you could probably get it scanned and you'd be able to see that. I don't know, with an ultrasound or something. If there is something there, it would be really good to know. If it's a vertebrae out of whack, it would be great to also know if it's something that can be adjusted, or if the tumor is really a bulging disc. If it looks like a tumor but it's a bulging disc, it's hard to. I'm seeing something out of whack, like you are, Heather, like something extra.
Like pushing, yeah. It could be a fatty something, but it's whatever it's doing. It's obstructing the normal usage. It's impeding the normal usage. Yeah.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, I think that you guys are all three on the same page with that. So I think that's validated. And I just want to say, you guys just read about I think it was the cat that crossed over that was sitting. She says that the cat would, or whatever this animal is, would do that. She's validating. You guys are absolutely right. remember the sitting, the heavy sitting. Yes, she says every morning at 2 a.m. So, and every now
Wow.
and then she can still feel it. So you guys are just right on the money with that.
Oh, good.
So I haven't been able to look at the chat to give you guys much validation because it's been a little bit wild tonight. We had 200, a little over 200 people in chat and watching. So it's been very busy for all our moderators. Thank you so much for all of our moderators. And thank you, everyone that took time out of your Sunday night. Time is about 2 hours to spend with us and hear of all these wonderful stories and experiences and communications from live and crossed over animals. What a brilliant, beautiful, touching, magical night it's been. I hope the messages have really helped you, healed you, given you hope, or maybe a laugh or two, all those things. I just hope that we've been able to do that for you. And I want to thank you guys for coming here and helping us do that. Thank you so much.
We love it. We're so glad to be here. We can't thank you enough for letting us come here and for talking about Cain's Crusade so they can get some help. And we're so grateful, so very grateful.
Yes, and I want to say again that all of the donations that were given tonight will go directly to Cain's Crusades. So that is a rescue up in the Northeast, but they're coming down to Texas to help me with one of my rescues. So these rescues are amazing. They save lives. They save cats' lives. They save dogs' lives. So that's important, and I really appreciate you supporting them. And then if you guys want to get in contact with any of these wonderful pet psychics, you can find that in the description. You can find each of their websites, and you can also find the website for the Animal Communication Collective and learn more about that and what they do. So again, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday night and a great week ahead. And we'll all see each other again soon, I'm sure, because I'd love to have them come back and do this again in the future. We'll
We'd
let
love
you
that.
know for sure. Okay, everybody, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Much love and light to everybody.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.